Hello, Wootton students. My name is Josh Freedman, and on today's COVID CareVid, I'm going to be interviewing Mr. McMahon, one of our physical education teachers. Mr. McMahon, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, to start off, what hobbies have kept you busy over quarantine?
Well, quarantine gave me the opportunity to have a lot more time at home, so I did a bunch of home improvement projects. My daughter and I uh, demolished the roof of our shed because it was leaking, and put a new roof on the shed. I painted the entire house, the ceiling, the trim, the walls, all that. And then when they made the decision to go virtual at the beginning of the year, I had to redo our sunroom, which used to be a playroom for the kids, and put down new flooring and painted and furnished it and all that stuff so that my wife or my son or my daughter or myself would have another spot to go and be virtual, so to speak.
That sounds nice. Are there any activities that you recommend Wooten students do during virtual learning?
Well, I'll tell you, what I would recommend is to get out and try some different things. My daughter and she asked me one day, "Hey, Dad, let's go fishing." So we went, and what I thought was going to be, a little half-hour, 45-minute outing turned into about an hour and a half, and then we, descended upon Walmart and got new fishing poles and all kinds of stuff. So we've been fishing pretty routinely since then. And then as a whole entire family, and including my son Austin and my wife and my daughter Reagan and our we have a little Shih Tzu named Oreo. That's a dog. Don't worry. We've been doing a lot of trail hikes and walking on trails and stuff like that. So just trying to get outside and try new things that we don't typically have time for, so to speak, prior to COVID.
So, how, if at all, have lessons adapted to be more suitable for virtual learning?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. Physical education's been, I think, completely changed. We've had to modify and adapt everything, I should say. Typically when we're in person, we've got all kinds of activities and things that we can do, but now we're more individualized. So we've been, as a department, trying to focus on strength and fitness and getting ourselves in the best position to be, as healthy and well as we can be, not only while we're out, but also in preparation for coming back. We want students to be ready when we get back into school, whenever that may be, to hit the ground running, so to speak.
And what I'm sure many students are wondering is how can students not currently enrolled in a physical education course still stay active at home during these unusual times?
Yeah, that's another great question. So we're kind of fortunate in the area that we live in that there's so many options of things that we can do. I think a lot of us leave our house every day and we drive by trails and we drive by parks and drive by things that we don't typically notice. So, I think the first thing is to just kind of check out what's in your area and what's around you. Walking is something that you can do with obviously no equipment. And then there's so many activities that you can do both individually or with a small group or with a larger group, if you're social distancing, that can still be fun and still be you being active. The other thing I would say would be to steer everybody towards the internet, and that can be a great resource as far as what's in the area, what's within walking distance or a bike ride away, what's a car ride away, and then just another way to connect with other people that might be interested in some of the things that you're interested in as well.
Those are some really great suggestions. Now, what do you expect of students as they take a physical education course virtually this year?
Yeah. Well, what I would say is to come prepared, be ready to work and be ready to work out. A positive attitude goes a long way. And I think as a department, what we've been sharing with everybody is, kind of a quote that all we can do is the best we can. And that's kind of what we go by. If you've got a lot of room, great. If you've got a small area, great. We can adapt it and modify it for you. Just trying to get everybody involved and keep a positive attitude, because I think that goes a long way.
And what are some helpful resources students can take advantage of if they need extra help but cannot attend office hours or need more time than office hours can provide?
Yeah. So I'm assuming everybody's doing this, but as a department, we're posting our daily lessons. Um, you're able to go in and to my MCPS classroom and check those out. We're also posting our recordings of class as well. But I would just push kids and students to reach out to us individually, shoot us an email. I don't think any of us in our department are going to be restricted by office hours. If somebody needs help, we'll be glad to help any way that we can. If a student doesn't feel comfortable reaching out to us individually, then I would ask them to go ahead and contact their counselor. The counselors are a great resource, and they're really a vital key to the success of students, whether it be academically or mentally, emotionally, socially.
And last but not least, do you have any advice for students during these unprecedented times?
Yeah, I mean, I have some advice. I don't know how great it is, but I'll definitely share it with you. The first thing I'd say is for students to get up and get ready every morning as if you're going to leave the home to go to school. If you're able to, find a dedicated workspace. Don't just roll over and grab your laptop and put it in bed with you. And then plan and set a schedule. You have to be able to leave the computer, put the computer down, do other things, and then come back to whether it be the computer or work or whatever. The second thing I would say would be to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally, and be as active in both as you can. And, at whatever level you're comfortable with. And then right along with that goes being social in whatever you're able and feel comfortable to do. And then the last thing, which I think is probably the most important, is if you're having trouble with either being physically active or mentally and socially active, reach out, whether that be to a parent or an aunt and uncle or a teacher or a counselor. Hopefully everybody's got a trusted adult that they can turn to, because there's so many of us that are willing and wanting to help everybody get through this unprecedented time. That's about all I have, I guess.
That's really great. Well, thank you very much for your time and for being a part of COVID CareVids.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate you having me.
My pleasure.